Hello, Tim Pels here, talking about Passport to Play Guitar, Volume 2. We're now into a place where we have to tackle one of the greatest musical styles, and particularly as affects the guitar, and that's jazz. And jazz, of course, has its roots in the southern states of the USA, particularly New Orleans is a city associated with the origins of jazz through artists like the great Louis Armstrong. So the song I'm looking at for a project style jazz is a great New Orleans tune, Sweet Georgia Brown. But it also has a theoretical aspect that I've written into the book, and I want to explain that to you as well today. The chords for Sweet Georgia Brown are a rapid upbeat, would have been originally played on the banjo, and it's like this. Going to the next chord. You get that rapid chord changes, and then going back to the beginning and playing all night. So that's the tune. The melody for Sweet Georgia Brown, you probably know, it's really famous. That's the opening of the melody. But one of the things in the book that I've put it with is a way of understanding chords that relates them in what's called the cycle of keys, or the cycle of fifths, or sometimes it's even called the cycle of fourths. But it's all the same thing. What it does is it relates the keys. If you have a chord of C, and you go up to the fifth note of the C scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get a G chord. If you take a G chord and you go up to the fifth note of the scale, you get D, and so you take a D chord. If you take a D and go up to the fifth, you get A, and so you play an A chord. And so that relationship is in fifths. Well, what do you know? Sweet Georgia Brown does it, but backwards. It starts on A, and instead of going up a fifth, it goes back down to D, and then goes to G, and then goes back to C. And that chord progression sounds really driven. You can imagine it in a jazz band. Here's the A chord. That was the fifth of the D chord. The fifth of the G chord. And G was the fifth of the C chord. And then we go to E, which is the fifth of A. And so we go around in cycles like that. And that's the cycle of fifths. Now, you'll see that diagram in the book, in the page in Passport that deals with the cycle of keys. And you can track that relationship of the chords going C, up a fifth to G, up a fifth to D. By the way, if you learn that sequence, it also teaches you the sequence of key signatures, like how many sharps in a key. It also teaches you what dominant chord goes to what root note. So it's a really handy thing for learning a practical application. And if you're going to learn theory, you might as well learn Sweet Georgia Brown, because it's really fun to learn.